I'd like to call this board meeting together tonight for the Village of Carpentersville on June 20th, 2017 at 7 p.m. You can call to order, please.
Trustee Burroway?
Here.
Trustee Humfer?
Here.
Trustee Lawrence?
Here.
Trustee Rayberg? Trustee Sabi?
Here.
Trustee Schultz? President Skillen?
Here. If you can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, also remain standing for Pastor Phil's invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we're grateful for this gathering tonight where these folks will be doing the business of this village, and we would ask for your wisdom for them as they conduct that business, and for your blessing to be on this village and all those who would work for it and the residents of it. And then we pray this in the name of the Creator. Amen.
Okay. Tonight we have no proclamations, correct, Kelly?
Correct.
Okay, appointments, confirmations, administrative oath. We have an appointment of Carl Sebastian to the Police Pension Board. Have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion, Trustee Humfer. Second, Trustee Sabi. Thank you. Motion carries.
Oh, we got a vote.
I need a vote, please. Sorry.
Trustee Burroway?
Yes.
Trustee Humfer?
Yes.
Trustee Lawrence?
Yes.
Trustee Sabi?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. We have public comment, Kelly.
We have one, Kent Baldwin.
Mr. Baldwin, please. 5 minutes or less, or we throw you out. And so.
There used to be a show called 5 Minutes to Live By. Back in the day, yeah. Last 3 times I came up here to talk, I forgot to ask, does anybody know how Terry is? Wildy? Hello?
We don't
I was
comment.
wondering,
We can't comment back to you, correct? Is that?
Yeah, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
huh?
What'd you say?
I was wondering, has anybody heard on how Terry Wilder doing?
Yeah, we don't know right now.
Huh?
We don't know. We have no comment.
Okay. Well, if
It's
you're
a-
out there watching, I want to say hi.
Okay, thank you.
Get better. Do you need any help for the Civil War reenactment?
They need volunteers. Yes, you can see Bob Cole.
Okay.
He can catch you up with the folks that'll
Okay.
gladly accept volunteers.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Consent agenda. All items listed on consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on those items unless the trustee so requests, in which the event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda.
I move to pass the consent agenda.
Trustee Sabi.
I'll second.
Second, Trustee Humford, thank you. Roll call. We could do a voice roll call on this one. Okay.
Was there
roll
anything
call.
that want to be removed, or nobody?
Anyone want to remove anything? I'm sorry. No. Trustee Lawrence? No? Okay. Okay, now roll call.
Trustee Lawrence?
Yes.
Trustee Sabi?
Yes.
Trustee Burroway?
Yes.
Trustee Humfer?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, we're on D. Approval minutes.
That was all part of the consent agenda.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, reports of manager, officers, and commission and staff. Chief
Tonight-
Kilbourne.
Yeah, tonight we have Chief Kilbourne, and Public Works will have 2 reports.
Good evening. Thank you, trustees. I'm here just to give you a little bit of information on a new program we're running in the police department, which is called Focus of Enforcement. We've been running it now for about 6 weeks, and the element of this really is twofold. we're addressing vehicle and quality of life issues. And these issues are identified by either community members or by the police department. And the second element of it, and I apologize for having my back to you two over here, but to the camera. The second element of it is social media driven, because we place the announcements Monday morning on the Facebook page for public safety. We announce where we're going to be and what we're doing. We have gotten some comments of, well, why are you telling us where you're going to be there? No one's going to break the law. Well, yes, they do. And the purpose of doing this is to announce where we're going to be and intensify our enforcements, because people do complain about certain areas of town and where they want enforcement to happen. Our posts look like this. This is the first one we did, in which we announced we were going to be out against distracted driving during a 5-day period in April. And this was driven by the Illinois Chiefs Association. They did it throughout the state. So we picked it up as our focus of enforcement. We told people we'd be out that period. And then at the end of the week, we notified everyone that we had written 31 citations, either written citations, written warning, or P-tickets for distracted driving. So what we're doing is we're announcing that we're attacking a certain problem. I'd say about 75% of them will probably be traffic, but there'll be other quality of life. Tell you where we're going to be, and then we're out there telling you what we did. A second one was speed enforcement on North Lincoln Avenue. And in that week, we issued 60 citations on North Lincoln Avenue. That's just about a 3-block section in town between Route 31 and Main Street. And yet, we announced we were going to be there. We were there, and we still had 60 tickets issued. Now, so far during this program, these are the areas that we have focused our enforcement on. Distracted driving. As I said, that involved the Illinois Association Chiefs of Police. Speed enforcement on North Lincoln, that was a request by a resident forwarded to us by the village president, saying there were a lot of speeders there. Turn restrictions at Main, at Lincoln, that was a new ordinance, so we decided to head over there. Speed enforcement on Lord was another resident complaint that we received through a trustee. No truck zone in Old Town was a resident complaint forwarded to us by the village president. And we're back at Lord, because we have a mobile speed sign out there. And that mobile speed sign, one of the few areas in town where that mobile speed sign has told us, yes, there are people going over the limit to the point that we'd enforce them. In my office, as I was straightening up and getting ready for the meeting tonight in the last hour, I heard 4 traffic stops in that area of town. So there's at least one officer out there making traffic stops on Lord based on this focus of enforcement. Now, this is not a new idea. Like a lot of things, we don't reinvent the wheel. I lifted this from the Oak Brook Police Department, who have done it successfully. And we are open, we'll continue to be open, if you have ideas or if the residents have ideas about where they want specific focus of enforcement on. Any questions?
Yeah, Randall Road. I can tell you I've had residents talk to me about it already. It's ridiculous, the distracted driving that's going on.
Distracted driving. We also have a problem at Randall and Miller. We had 2 serious accidents there about 2 weeks ago. Right turn on to Randall from Miller.
It's out of hand. I don't.
I think a stop sign, or not a stop sign, but a red arrow. I think we need to do a red arrow there.
So you're talking about like where Woodman's and Miller is?
Yep, turning off of Randall onto Miller. I think we need to do a arrow.
And that is something we'd have to go through the Kane County Department of Transportation, but something that I can look at and suggest to them.
Yeah.
And that does occasionally happen. They do listen to us.
Yeah.
Back in the day when Randall Road at Miller had the fly right turn, and that's where the right turn off of Huntley onto Randall, northbound Randall, used to always be able to go. We had so many accidents there because people thought it was a right turn on red. People would stop and then get in an accident. When we showed them the statistics, they did take away that feature there. So we'll look into that, generate some numbers, and see if we can get King County to make that a red arrow for that right turn.
I think the morning would be the best southbound traffic on Randall from the city limits, the village limits.
They're heading to the tollway. Once they hit the Park District, the traffic's a bit tight, but through our part of town, it's open enough where you do get some fast
Yeah,
traffic.
I mean, I drive in Chicago a lot, and it can be bad for those people that do drive in Chicago. They know people pass you on the right. It's at that level. It's kind of amazing. I don't quite understand.
And there's also a delay on Miller. So if you're on Miller heading towards Woodman's, it only allows 4 cars through.
Yeah.
And because of that, people
And
press
that's
their
traffic
luck.
management. We have King County Transportation Department, we're probably not going to change the length of that light
Right.
because they want to give the light to Randall.
Yeah.
But you're right, that is a shorter light. It's shorter, especially compared to the opposing traffic, which is coming out of the Woodman's lot, where you have more traffic leaving, and that's why it's longer.
Yeah.
But people do try to beat that light because of the shortness of it. So noted. Any other?
On Lord there, the mobile speed sign is showing what I thought all along, that there are speeders coming down there. And I just want to say, last night there was a guy going fast and there was a squad car right behind him. And boom, clicked his lights on, and I don't know where he pulled him over. And then when I left to come to this meeting, there was a squad car sitting out there right along Lord Avenue.
Yep, like I said, I've heard 3 or 4 traffic stops in the last hour. So
Yeah,
they're out there
excellent.
tonight. So if you're watching, don't go speeding on Lord.
Yes, absolutely, or any old town.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, now Kevin Gray would give us an update on the upcoming projects that are part of our capital improvement plan, to include impacts of our state-funded projects. So, Kevin?
Correct. This is basically just the upcoming projects or projects that are in design and getting ready to be bid out. It's not all our projects that we're working on. There's other Phase 1 engineering projects and Phase 2 engineering projects, but I'm not going to cover those because it would take me too long. So our first project is the 2017 Miller Road, Commerce Parkway, Providence Point Unit 1 resurfacing project. It also includes South Washington Street, curb and gutter removal, and some driveway aprons near the Milk Specialties building. That contract was awarded to Lord Construction. It's using CIP and TIF funds. No MFT funds are using on this project. The contractor started doing pavement patching out in Providence Point Unit 1 subdivision, and I think they're going to hop over to Miller Road in between Randall and the entrance to Glen Eagle and do that portion next. And then they'll do Miller Road north of Spring Acre Hills to our village limits, and then finish up with Commerce Parkway. The 2017 MFT Sidewalk Removal and Replacement, this is basically just select concrete removal and replacement of sidewalk. This is solely on Chippewa Circle and Cherokee roads. Those are really long roads in town, and that was only a $100,000 contract, so that's as much as we can get on sidewalk removal and replacement. That was awarded to Strata Construction. We have a pre-construction meeting set up for next week, and we're looking for work to begin in early July. The 2017 MFT Sidewalk Cutting, this is the project where the contractor goes and assesses. He uses actually a little Segway and goes around through town looking for trip hazards, marks them out, and they use a little concrete grinder, basically a tool with vacuum cleaners, and they cut out the trip hazards. That's going to be in Kimball Farm subdivision and the area north of Kings Road, west of 25, and south of Bowles Road. And that contract was awarded to Safe Step out of Wisconsin. And that work, they've already completed the assessment, so in the next couple of weeks, they'll start that work. 2017 Public Works in-house paving projects. We're currently down on Day Lane. That road was probably our worst road in town. It was actually rated like a 5 out of 100. So we're taking that down to the stone and doing 2 lifts of asphalt. We just did our first lift, a portion of Day Lane today. So the projects that we're looking to do: Day Lane, San Juan from Alameda Drive to Ensenada Drive, Rosewood Court, Lincoln Avenue north of Riverview Drive, Wilmette Avenue, Topeka Drive, Denver Drive, Sacramento Drive from Denver to Tulsa, and finish up with Illinois Street near the Milk Specialties property. The burial of overhead utilities along South Washington Street, Comcast and ComEd have completed their work. We're currently waiting on AT&T. They had some delays in getting their the actual not the conduit, their fiber actually. I guess it would be fiber. I think it's copper actually. So talked to the project manager this morning. He thinks by the end of July the project should be completed, and they'll come back and do the restoration where the unit duct was installed. Ball Avenue Storm Sewer Improvement Project. This is a project that we're doing prior to one of our other projects, putting in some storm sewer to catch some isolated areas of ponding. It's not designed for a 10-year or 100-year. It's just basically a 12-inch pipe just to get some of these ponding areas, nuisance ponding areas. That's from Illinois 25 to Wren Road. We had a pre-construction meeting this morning, and with Morrow Sewer Construction, and they're thinking that they're going to come in about the next couple of weeks. So I would say probably after the 4th of July they'll be in town. The 2017 CDBG resurfacing. This is Ball Avenue, so we need to get the Ball Avenue Storm Sewer project completed before this starts. It's Ball Avenue and the little portion, the frontage road along 25. We're also doing that. So this is all complete removal and replacement of carriage walk and resurfacing. Since we did have our other resurfacing project for Commerce Miller and Providence Point Unit 1 came in under, we actually added another street. So we're hoping that prices will cover that additional street. We added Lowell, and that's complete curb and gutter removal, depressing the curb and gutter and driveway aprons, as well as replacing driveway aprons and resurfacing the entire street. That CDBG project is anticipated to be let in the next week or so. So, of course, that won't start until Ball Avenue Storm Sewer is completed. Washington Street and Spring Street Culvert Replacement Project. That's the replacements of those two culverts underneath Carpenter Creek, as well as creek bank widening to get the 100-year flow to go underneath Washington Street, as well as doing the pedestrian bridge, the Fox River Trail Bridge. Right now, we probably have about 95% plans, and we're in the process of going to be bidding that out in the next couple weeks. So that'll be presented to the board probably in another month and a half. We're looking to try to complete Washington Street by the end or middle of November. So we're only going to tackle Washington Street. We don't want to, there's going to be a complete closure of Washington Street to do this project, as well as Spring Street. And we worded it in the contract where they can only close down one street at a time because of the truck route and so forth. So we will, we've worked with police. We will have to do a detour along North Washington for the truck route for Washington Street. And we'll have to do another one along Lord Street for Spring Street. And that, I believe, takes a special board approval to get that detour route set up.
And we'll just have to make a note, Gary Chester's replacement, that we coordinate for the bus traffic for the district.
Correct, which we do on all our projects. We also notify all the businesses on Maple Avenue to try to let them know to not use coming from 31 and actually try to get all their trucks and deliveries coming from 25 so they can come down 25 and then come right back up Maple Hill. Williams Road culvert improvements. This is basically adding a head wall where we have, right now we just have a small inlet and it just can't take doesn't have the capacity to take all the rainwater along Williams north of Kings Road. So we're actually putting in a big head wall there and doing a culvert cleaning as well. The culvert's about half full of debris. That contract was awarded to Copenhagen Construction, and they're scheduled to start the week of the 4th of July. So on that one, we're actually going to use our electronic message board and get that up there a week before they start to notify the residents. Fox River Renovation Project, Phase 2 and 3. That's riverbank improvement projects just south along Washington Street, just south of Timothy McNamee Park, as well as along the bank on the west side, which I believe is 10 West Main property. That consists of limestone outcroppings, a stone boulder toe with native plantings, benches and picnic tables. And on Washington Street, we're removing the old parking lot and putting in parallel parking stalls and doing some sidewalk/walking path improvements. That was also awarded to Copenhagen Construction. They're out of Gilbert's. So they're actually going to kind of be hopping back and forth between Williams and this project. That work is also going to take place the week after the 4th of July. Route 31, Huntley Road, Main Street, and Lincoln Avenue intersection improvement project. Just a quick update. So far we've acquired 73 parcels consisting of permanent tanks or temporary construction easements. We have 2 parcels outstanding right now, and IDOT has this tentatively scheduled for a fall-winter letting, pending the when we acquire those last 2 properties. Huntley Road widening and reconstruction improvements. The village has acquired 4 out of the 7 parcels. The 3 remaining parcels are owned by Dundee Township, and Attorney Passman is working with the township's attorney to get those parcels acquired, so hopefully we can get those soon. I just talked to the Director of Public Works at West Dundee. They have 1 parcel outstanding, so they're waiting on 1 parcel as well. So pending Land Act, we're currently scheduled for a September. We're on the September 22nd IDOT letting for that project. And last but not least, just want to give an update to some IDOT projects. These are not village projects; they're strictly IDOT projects. Illinois Route 25 resurfacing project. This is from Route 72 all the way to Bowles Road. Just had a pre-construction meeting last Friday. The contractor that was awarded that project for IDOT is Plody Construction. It basically consists of roadway patching. So these are like full depth patches where they rip out the roadway 8 foot wide and replace it with hot mix. It will be bumpy at times until they actually come and resurface it. ADA improvements, all the ADA sidewalk improvements at all the intersections are going to get redone. And then, of course, roadway resurfacing. That tentative date is July 10th, pending the outcome of the state approving their budget. The contractor does not want to move Plody until the state has a budget, or at least they have funding.
So next year, then.
Illinois Route 25 and Gulfview intersection improvement. This is basically within the limits of the resurfacing project. This was awarded to Lorig Construction. This is doing turning lane improvements at Gulfview. The contractor's already started, other than we're waiting on, or the contractor's waiting on NICOR to relocate their facilities and ComEd to relocate 2 poles. So they're on a standstill until that gets done. There will be on both projects temporary and permanent lane closures. They'll at least have 1 lane open in each direction, but we can anticipate those. Route 31 and Miller Road intersection improvement projects. I just want to point out that this project's not within the village of Carpentersville, but we are aware of the project. This is basically roadway widening and adding a left turn from northbound 31 onto Miller Road. Also has culvert improvements just south of there. There's a culvert that's failing, a box culvert that they're going to be replacing as well. They've completed all their land acquisition, IDOT has, and it's on the August 4th IDOT letting. I talked to the engineer today. He doesn't think that the contractor is going to start this year because there's they're widening and temporary roadway that they'll have to put in. So they think once they get it awarded, they'll probably just do utility relocates and like tree removal. So they don't want to start it and then go right into the winter construction season and stop it, basically. So they probably won't start until the spring. And that will also have temporary lane closures on 31. That's all I have.
Can you draw that for us now? Any questions?
Yeah.
Trustee Helper.
On 25, is that going to include base repairs that Plody's doing for the state?
Oh, correct. Yeah, they call it a Class D patch. Yeah, it's a full depth patch. Believe it or not, I was actually an intern at IDOT the last time they resurfaced it. So it was in 1998. The last time they've actually resurfaced. So it was a long time since they ever done anything. They did some remedial patches, I think, in 2012, where they just ground. The state didn't have any money. They ground 2 inches and put it back, and it all cracked through within like a matter of a year and a half. So it's in my opinion, it's just a Band-Aid. I think 25 needs to be fully reconstructed probably here within the next 20 years.
That would be a good opportunity for us to address some of the some of the scenes alongside there. We've talked about this for a couple of years. Probably need to rethink that or start talking about putting up fencing along the side there. I think it'll look a lot better, and it's something that's been pointed out to us by some of the consultants we've had in the past. The situation at 31 and Miller, not going to get done. Doesn't look like it'll finish this year. That's such a dangerous intersection.
Yeah, I think they got held up in Land Ac on that project. I think they were originally, it was on July letting, I believe, and they just got put back.
In the river bank repairs along McNamee Park and the 2 culverts on Washington, those are coming out of TIP funds, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then a couple things, Kevin, just in Providence Point, if those base repairs are starting to add up like we saw in Glen Eagle, please give us an idea of the cost of that. This is important. This is good lessons learned for requiring developers to put a thicker concrete base in on the street. So all we got to do is go in and grind it and pick that up and lay down new asphalt. Heck of a lot cheaper than fixing concrete. Now, conversely, let's go to the east side. You mentioned Day Lane and San Juan. We're talking a rock base there?
Yeah, that'll be a stone base as well.
Stone base.
It's the whole east side is a thin pavement cross section.
Yeah, so we got kind of a challenge, east versus west side, with the lack of base on the east side comparatively to what the developments on the west side enjoy. So
correct.
But yeah, if you could keep track of those base repairs,
Yep, not a problem.
I think it's important. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, let's go back to the Washington Street culvert there. At that time, are you going to be doing the bank stabilization along Carpenter Creek?
So for Washington or Spring?
Well, how much of that are you
Okay,
going to do?
for Washington, we're doing bank stabilization from just west of the Fox River pedestrian bridge.
Yes.
To about 150 feet east of the Washington Street Bridge.
Okay.
So you know where we have the lift station, Harry's lift station, right
Yes.
there. So it's going to be, it basically kind of ends right around there.
Okay.
For Spring Street, we're going to, once we replace the culvert, we'll do about 50 feet north of the culvert, and then we actually are going to do improvements all the way down through the park.
Okay. I see. So the portion on Washington Street will be done first?
Correct. Yeah, we want Washington Street. That's so we can start the process of doing a Lomar, similar to what we just did on Carpenter Creek for the residents along Sedgwick, because we want to reduce the floodplain.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
And Kevin, one thing you haven't said, but along with every project that we've been doing since I've been here, Ed Sidlowski from the engineering department, you do door hangers and get those out in the neighborhoods to warn the residents the week before that these projects are starting. So they're very specific alerts to the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The signs as you enter a development are really good too. I think people see that more than.
Yeah, we have pardon our dust signs talking about the project at the entrance, and
that portable reader board, putting it up, helps the residents know it's coming.
Correct. We have that out on Miller Road right now. That's the high traffic area, so we figured we'd put it out there by Woodman's and Menards, and then we're going to use that all over the place.
Very good. Thank you.
One more thing. And I know you said this, but people keep asking, and I just want to make sure I understand. The hill, and so 31 and by the mall there, all that, when is that scheduled to start, or are we still, it's still dependent on the?
It's still dependent on Land Ac.
But we're hoping it's going to start in the fall, or?
We're hoping we can get on an IDOT letting in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, fall/winter.
So the other part that you were talking about, that's the part that's just west of that?
That's from Sleepy Hollow Road to Elm Avenue,
Right.
correct, just west of there.
Okay.
Where it's West Dundee is actually the lead agency.
Right.
So they're managing the project, and we just pay for half, basically.
Okay.
They both could be impacted by the state budget, though.
Correct.
Or the lack of a state budget.
Yeah, well, we have no budget.
I don't think anything's going to happen with our deals or our negotiations with the township. I mean, we've had pretty good success up to this point. So I don't think that's going to be a holdup. It's going to be the state if there's any holdup, unfortunately.
Thank you, Kevin. And Bob has got a
Thank you.
parks update and a request at the end.
Okay.
He's speaking for Pat, who's not able to be here tonight, and the committees.
Yep, good evening. At the last Committee of the Whole meeting, you decided to have the Carpenter Park grand opening on July the 15th. That date does not work out for several of the staff members because of prior commitments, and we request that you move that date to August 5th, which will coincide with the Civil War reenactment.
Fox Fest is also the 15th as well, so I was wondering if those were going to conflict anyway. So the Fest on the Fox.
Yeah, Rock the Fox is actually on the August 15th weekend.
No, the Chamber Fest on the Fox.
Okay.
There's the 15th as well. So I just
Of July.
July, yeah.
So,
Fine with me.
Any problems with that?
I'm sorry, Bob, I didn't hear you. Say again, please.
At the last Committee of the Whole meeting, the board approved the July 15th date as the grand opening for the Carpenter Park.
Right.
Because of some personal prior commitments at the staff level, we request that you consider moving that to August 5th, which will coincide with the Civil War reenactment.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody object with that August 5th date? We'll get you a time. We just want to get it published and get it out there. So.
9:45 is what we're thinking, isn't it?
Can we like shoot the ribbon with a musket or something?
The cannon.
With the cannon, John.
Yeah, even better, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Director Cole.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're going to continue on. We have commissions and staff reports. Paul, do you have any?
Yeah, just we have a meeting next Tuesday for Business Development Commission, and one of the topics we're going to discuss is our current TIF process, as you and I have talked. So that'll be one of the things we'll talk about, and I know we got a pretty full agenda, so looking forward to that meeting. We'll get that out later this week, though.
And Trustee Burway, thank you.
It's at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock,
Yeah,
correct.
it's on the second floor.
Do you want to have, are you going to cover for Trustee Rayberg on the audit and finance at 6:30?
6:30 on next Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday night.
At the Public Works Facility, yes. Audit and Finance meeting. It'll be on our website, so the information.
We'll get there as soon as we can.
Trustee Burway?
You have to excuse my voice. We had a C4 meeting on June 8th. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I know we did talk about, in depth, about the structure of this commission or committee, whatever you want to call it there, and the internal structure of it and how we're building it. And we will be in that process for, another couple of months. Because there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot you have to look forward kind of to what we really need. And that's where we're at right now, that kind of structure. And, of course, gathering data all along the place, all along the that route. Our next meeting for the C4 will be July 13th, right, the second Thursday in the month. July 13th, 7 o'clock, Public Works. I invite everybody to be there. One other thing, as I discussed with the mayor, our village president, Skillman, about having a representative from C4 come here and give a little presentation. We're looking at maybe an August 15th, thereabouts, August 15th meeting. If that's okay with everybody, I would try to get that on the agenda. I believe it is. Again, that's kind of tentative. I gotta make sure I get somebody to do it. It would be somebody other than myself. It'd be perhaps a representative from the Ren Center who was involved in this and everything like that. One thing that is improving as we talk is the Facebook website, our own website. Those are both coming along at a real nice pace. We're starting to add information and places where people can go to receive help for recovery from opioids or any drug addiction. As you read about in the papers, you can see that this problem is just getting worse and worse and worse. It's one of the leading opioid overdose, whether it be heroin or pills or whatever, is one of the leading causes of death for people under 50. More than heart attacks, more than anything, it's drug overdose. So I believe Carpentersville is headed in the right direction as we've been working on this, I don't know, for a couple of years now, it seems like, that we really took the lead in this area for this type of thing, and working with the Ren Center and other facilities and adjacent to soon, that we've got a good plan going, and we need to continue to do that. Again, funds are are needed excuse me, for that, and we have we've been checking into different grants that we can get. As I approached Trustee Humfer about CARA, it's a federal program. It's a comprehensive addiction recovery act that the federal government gave to the states, monies just for this type of thing. And part of our job at C4 is to qualify for those kind of monies. And that's why we're building this structure, so we can show that to the feds or the state or whoever that we got something really good going here, and that they can help us out with financing.
There's other grant money too.
Huh?
There's other grant money too.
Yeah. There's several places that we're looking at, and I thank you for your help on this, Paul. I appreciate it. And the next Jelkies Creek Fox River Watershed meeting will be first week of August. And I'll get back to you on the exact date on that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I did attend with Trustee Schultz a clergy meeting last week. We met, we had a good meeting for a couple hours. We discussed the clergy becoming very involved in some of our projects in town, and so Trustee Schultz working with them closely and organizing it. So everything good going on with that. Okay, so we complete our staff reports, correct? Manager Rooney? Okay. Any old business, Kelly? We have no old business?
No.
We have new business. Approval of Verizon bill totaling $2,863.20, and we can take these both together.
I'll request that we pass both of those together.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion. Trustee Humfer, second by Trustee Sabi. Have a roll call, please, Kelly.
Trustee Savi.
Yes.
Trustee Burroway.
Yes.
Trustee Humfer.
Yes.
Trustee Lawrence.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we're on our next item, trustee reports. Trustee Burrow, you want to start?
I'm struggling a little bit down here. Really have a very short trustee report. Happy summer solstice. That's it. Thank you. Summer's here.
Trustee Sabi.
I just wanted to just one comment this week. I wanted to thank the police department, and I want to call out to the residents. We hear all the time about noise complaints. It's one of the biggest things we hear all the time, especially in the summer. People complaining about noise in their neighborhood, cars, parties, everything. I actually called myself on Sunday night, and I did not identify myself as a trustee. I just gave my address, and there was somebody there within 3 minutes, and they resolved the issue right after that. So if you have a problem, call 911. That's what it's there for, and they will do their best to make sure that they can fix it for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Sabi. Trustee Humphrey.
Just piggybacking off of Trustee Sabi's report, it's fireworks season, and know that, you know, there are people that will call the cops, and the cops are going to follow up. So it is a violation of the noise ordinance. So at your own risk, and at how many you want to blow off, you could take that chance.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Humphrey. Trustee Lawrence.
There is a community events meeting tomorrow, correct?
The events, yes.
Okay,
Pat,
just
so-
because she's not here, I just wanted
Yeah,
to
thank
state
you.
that. Yes, I believe it's 7 PM, correct?
Public Works, 6:30 Public
6:30
Works.
Public Works.
It's on our website also, on the calendar.
Oh, yeah, and the Saturday is the yard sale, right?
Yeah, I'm going to review that for Pat right now, so as soon as we're done. Is that
That was it.
Okay, a few things, yes. Saturday is very, very busy day in the village. We have the yard sale all day down at Carpenter Park. We do have Keith Andre's dedication to the new park, grand opening, okay, at 5 p.m., thank you. And then we have fireworks, and I believe that show starts with the band and everything coming in at about 7, and then fireworks usually about 9:15, 9:30, so a very busy day. Weather looks pretty good, I guess, so we should be good, so.
About the cannon.
Oh yeah, it's just we will be blowing off the cannon again for the Civil War reenactment. They're going to be there promoting their show coming up in August at Carpenter Park. So they will be blowing off the cannon. So just so everybody knows that. So it's very loud. So all right. So
Not a favorite of the dogs.
yes, of course. Any comments or questions? Anybody? Members, board members? No.
Thank you.
All right, we have no need for closed session tonight, so we'll be moving on to our next item.
Oh, there.
Thank you.
Which is other business?
Do we have any other village business at this time?
Motion to close the meeting?
Second.
Adjourn the meeting? Sorry.
Motion adjourned. Trustee Humfer and Trustee Sabi seconds. Thank you. Voice call, please.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Don't forget to hit the gavel.